Alright guys, today we are going to be working on this Blastoise that has seen better days. I don't even know what you call this type of damage. Bent, curled, curved. I bought this card specifically for the challenge. I saw it and really wanted to figure out if it was even possible to save this card. Um, Damage like this usually comes from extreme humidity and just terrible storing conditions. So I'm assuming that's kind of what happened here. Um, so for starters, we'll take a look at the card. There are some creases within the card, but honestly, my main goal is just to see if I can get it flat. And I think you guys are going to be surprised by the results here. So I did already clean the card off camera. I just kind of wiped it down with some card spray, made sure there wasn't any, dirt or dust or anything like that on the card before we got started. Um, and so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use card spray to dampen this foam pad. And we're going to do multiple different sort of press cycles. But this first one is just going to be trying to press the card with some card spray. So we do want to create a humid environment for the card to try to essentially reverse what was done to it originally, right? We are trying to sort of make the card more workable again, so that we can press it back to flat. Now, again, this is going to take so many different runs, so many different passes of this with different techniques. And I have a secret trick towards the end of this video that's going to show you, the best way to really get a card back to flat. Before we get to that secret trick, though, we are just going to press it a few different times, again, in a few different environments, right? So if we go straight for just bending the card back to flat, that's how you cause more damage to the card. So what we have to do is slowly sort of revert it back to a flat state before we really press it hard. And you'll kind of see what I mean by that. So this first pass, we let it sit for 24 hours in this moist environment. And we're going to take it out and sort of see the progress here. So, off the bat, you can already tell we've made a lot of progress with just that one press, but we're not done. And I'm feeling the pads here because I can tell that the card is not completely dry. The pads are not completely dry. So now what we're going to do is press it again with two completely dry pads. So we're going to kind of take the humidity back out of the equation here, let it press in a dry environment, and then we'll see sort of where we're at after we press it again. So we're going to use all the clamps we can on this. We really want this to be, a heavy pressure flattening situation. So again, let it sit for about 6 hours in the dry environment, and we're going to take a look. It's not going to be a ton of progress between this press and the last one, but again, we were just trying to sort of dry it out a little bit, see where we're at, and then essentially just repeat the same steps, right? We want to, dampen the pads up, get the card back on top, and then do another round of heavy press with moisture. So we're going to repeat this step a few times until we get it close, and then we are going to use my sort of secret trick here at the end, just to really cap it all off. So let's let this sit for another 24 hours. Check it out, see where we're at. And we do have a little bit of progress here from the last, since the last press, but nothing too crazy. We're getting there though. Again, we don't want to take this card from, a letter C shape directly to flat. You've got to kind of do it in waves so you don't cause any sort of cracking or, any other damage within the card. So now what we're going to do is just directly press this card between two plates. No pads. We did wipe down the plates just to make sure there's nothing on them that we're, going to press into the card. So we let it sit for about 6 hours directly between two plates, while the card was still a little damp, a little workable. And again, making progress, right? We're not going for perfect yet. We're just trying to slowly, incrementally get closer and closer to flat before we, apply any heat or anything else. All right, guys, this is the secret step. This is sort of the secret sauce here. So we're going to, once again, get the pad kind of damp. So we have a moist, workable environment. We're going to put it between two pads and two plates. And now it's time to apply heat. Now we're not using an industrial heat press. We are using a good old-fashioned heating pad. So, the kind that you throw in the microwave and, put on your stomach, I guess, when you're having a stomach ache, right? We're going to get this heating pad pretty warm, but not hot. We're going to let it sit for about 20 minutes, and then we are immediately going to clamp it down. So we're not even going to take the card out to look at it. We're just going straight to the press. So while the card is still warm and still moist, we'll get it clamped down. We're going to let it sit like this for about 6 hours. This, guys, is when you really start to see results. I mean, look at this card. It's back to flat. It does not look anything like the card we started with. And so now that, we've got it back to flat, the card is still just a little bit moist. So the last and final step is to put it in a penny sleeve and flat press it directly between two plates. We'll let it sit like that for about 8 hours, and then we're done, guys. Remember, you don't want to go straight to heat. You want to slowly work the card back to a flat environment and then apply heat at the end. That's the best way to do it, and I've tested this with hundreds of cards. This is the secret sauce, guys. So we'll see you at the before. Thanks for watching, guys. This was definitely a big challenge for me. Easily the worst card I've worked on as far as warping or bending goes. So I'm stoked with the results. And if you guys enjoyed this and want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button because we got more coming.